If there's one place where fashion isn't just an outfit, it's a language. It's Paris. But here's the thing. What the world thinks Parisians wear and what they actually wear are two completely different conversations. Today, we're breaking down the 7 summer fashion trends dominating the streets of Paris right now. Not Pinterest boards, not TikTok aesthetics. Real people, real style, real codes. And as always, follow us on Instagram at GTWJMag for more deep dives you won't get from the algorithm. Trend 1, oversized white poplin shirts. Forget tight button-ups. This summer, it's all about the oversized, barely buttoned, effortlessly undone white shirt, worn over swimwear, paired with linen trousers or thrown over a slip dress. It says, I don't try too hard because I don't have to. The psychology? It's a rejection of anything too tailored or restrictive during heat waves, but also a quiet flex that you can afford clothes that drape and move luxuriously. Trend 2, the return of flat leather sandals. Yes, heels are still around for dinners, but in the streets of Paris, elegant flat leather sandals in minimal shapes are everywhere. Think the Rode Ginza, ancient Greek sandals, or vintage Hermes Oran pairs. It's about timelessness. The real power play, comfort and legacy labels in one. Trend 3, basket bags beyond the market. Jane Birkin made them famous, but this summer basket bags are styled not just with linen dresses, but with tailored pants, tube tops, and even low-rise cargos. It's a contradiction, rustic and refined, and that contradiction is what makes it luxury coded. The only rule? It has to look like you picked it up at a Sunday antique market in Saint-Germain. Trend 4, cool tone minimalism. Soft blues, crisp whites, muted greys, while TikTok screams Oldmoney beige, real Parisians are leaning into cool-toned minimalism. It feels modern, sharp, and quietly authoritative. It photographs well against Paris's pale stone streets and exudes an almost clinical chicness. Trend 5, deliberately ugly sunglasses. Big, rectangular, matrix-style sunglasses are everywhere, and they don't flatter anyone, which is exactly the point. They signal insider status. If you know, you know. If you don't, well, you'll be wearing cat eyes while the fashion set has moved on. Trend 6, minimal gold jewelry. Small hoops, delicate flat snake chains, and vintage signet rings. Never too much. Never too shiny. It's about the piece your grandmother handed down or the one you had custom made in the Marais. The psychology? Gold is eternal. But loud gold screams desperation. Simple, strapless tube dresses are everywhere. In slinky jersey, crisp cotton, or ribbed knit, worn with flat sandals and no visible bra. The look? Clean, sleek, slightly sensual, without screaming for attention. It's what a woman with a booked-out summer calendar and zero time to overthink wears. And that's it. The 7 summer fashion trends you'll actually see on real stylish women in Paris this season. Not on TikTok aesthetic edits, not in influencer collaborations, real street style, real psychology, real elegance. Make sure you're following at GTWJMag on Instagram for more behind the scenes from the fashion capitals, and let me know in the comments which one you'd wear. Because at GTWJJ, fashion always thinks deeper. You know what the difference is between a trend and a style code? A trend is what gets sold to you. A style code is what you notice when you pay attention to the women who walk like they own every sidewalk in Paris. And this summer, the codes are louder than the trends. Take the oversized white poplin shirt. It's not new, but it's everywhere. Worn open over swimsuits at Le Bristol's pool, paired with vintage Levi's at Marché aux Puces, or thrown over slip dresses in Saint-Germain. It's not about buying a new one. It's about wearing one like you've owned it for 10 years, like it lives in your closet, not your shopping cart. Then those flat leather sandals. Quiet luxury people know nothing is louder than a shoe you can barely hear when you walk. No jingling logos, no extra embellishments, just soft leather, worn in but never worn out. Parisians don't buy sandals for one summer, they buy them for 6. And while the rest of the internet obsesses over beige on beige, in Paris it's cool-toned minimalism taking over. Soft icy blues, muted greys, crisp whites, colours that make a statement without raising their voice. It's less about blending in and more about creating space around you. The kind of colour palette that whispers, don't sit here unless you have something to say. The sunglasses? Big, rectangular, almost confrontational. They're not about looking pretty. They're about signaling you don't need validation. You'll notice the women who wear them aren't chasing the sun, they're shielding themselves from it. From the gaze, from the noise, from the spectacle. Minimal gold jewellery, no chunky chains, no overcompensating, just a flat snake chain, a vintage signet, maybe a tiny hoop. Because in Paris, jewellery is about memory, not trend cycles. And then there's the tube dress, strapless, sleek, unforgiving. It's the dress you wear when you want to move through a room uninterrupted. It doesn't beg for attention, it expects it. Fashion in Paris this summer isn't about shock or spectacle, it's about control. It's about clothes that don't try too hard because the woman wearing them doesn't have to. The trend cycle moves fast, but real style stays rooted. That's what's happening right now in the streets of Paris. You can follow the trend reports, or you can pay attention to the women who walk without asking permission. Follow at GTWJ Mag for more, because over here, fashion isn't just about what you wear, it's about why.